Imagine an empire that didn't just conquer land but conquered the oceans, not with brute strength alone, but with strategy, precision, and ambition as vast as the sea itself. The Chola Empire didn't just expand southward, they sailed eastward. Sri Lanka? Taken. The Maldives? Conquered. Southeast Asia? Raided and dominated. All this was made possible by something most ancient Indian empires ignored: naval supremacy. And behind this bold maritime saga were two men, father and son, Rajaraja Chola and Rajendra Chola. This isn't just history. This is a story of clever politics, naval domination, and a bit of audacity. Because when the Cholas entered the game, they didn't just play it, they rewrote the rules. Before the Cholas became the maritime maestros of the East, they were a dynasty lurking in the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to make their move. The mid-9th century CE was a tumultuous time in southern India, with the Pallavas and Pandyas locked in a relentless power struggle. Amidst this chaos, a shrewd leader saw an opening. Enter Vijaylaya Chola. Around 850 CE, this astute tactician, possibly a former feudatory of the Pallavas, seized the moment. While the Pallavas and Pandyas were preoccupied with their rivalry, Vijaylaya captured Thanjavur, a strategic and fertile region, laying the foundation for what would become the Chola Empire. He didn't just stop there. He established Thanjavur as the Chola capital, signaling the resurgence of Chola power. But how did he manage this feat? By masterfully exploiting the distractions of his neighbors. The Pallavas and Pandyas were so engrossed in their own squabbles that they failed to notice the rise of a new contender. Vijayalaya's actions were akin to a chess player executing a checkmate, while the opponents were busy squabbling over pawns. Following Vijaylaya, his successors continued this legacy of strategic opportunism. They observed, they waited, and when the time was right, they struck, expanding their territory and influence. This wasn't just about brute force, it was about understanding the board, anticipating moves, and playing the game with finesse. Fast forward to the late 10th century, and the Cholas are no longer the underdogs. At the helm is Rajaraja Chola, a ruler whose very name resonates with authority, literally translating to King of Kings. Rajaraja wasn't content with the status quo. He embarked on a series of ambitious reforms, overhauling the administrative machinery to ensure efficiency and centralization. His military campaigns were nothing short of audacious. He subdued the Pandyas and Cheras, ensuring Chola dominance over southern India. But his ambitions didn't stop at the subcontinent. Recognizing the importance of naval power, he set his sights on maritime conquests. Rajaraja's naval expeditions led to the annexation of northern Sri Lanka, transforming it into a Chola province. The strategic location of Sri Lanka allowed the Cholas to control vital sea routes, bolstering their trade and influence. He didn't stop there. The Maldives too fell under his sway, further extending the Chola maritime network. Yet, perhaps his most enduring legacy is the Brihadiswara temple in Thanjavur. Completed in 1010 CE, this architectural marvel stands as a testament to Chola artistry and engineering prowess. Dedicated to Lord Shiva, the temple's towering vimana and intricate carvings reflect not just religious devotion, but also a statement of imperial grandeur. Rajaraja Chola was a man who understood that true power wasn't just about wielding the sword, but also about leaving a legacy etched in stone and strategy. If Rajaraja was the architect, his son Rajendra Chola was the executor who took the Chola Empire to unprecedented heights, both literally and figuratively. Rajendra inherited his father's vision but had ambitions that stretched beyond the horizon. Understanding the immense potential of naval power, he transformed the Chola navy into a formidable force. Shipbuilding became a priority, with advanced vessels equipped for both warfare and trade. The sailors were not just mariners, they were warriors trained to dominate the seas. In 1025 CE, Rajendra launched an audacious naval expedition against the Srivijaya Empire, a dominant maritime power in Southeast Asia, encompassing parts of modern-day Indonesia and Malaysia. This campaign wasn't merely about territorial expansion, it was about controlling the lucrative trade routes that Srivijaya monopolized. The Chola forces attacked key port cities, disrupting Srivijaya's control and asserting their dominance over the region. This move not only showcased the Cholas' naval capabilities, but also sent a clear message. The seas of Southeast Asia were no longer Srivijaya's to command. To commemorate his victories and perhaps to remind everyone of his prowess, Rajendra established a new capital, Gangai Konda Cholapuram, meaning the city of the Chola who conquered the Ganges. This wasn't just a name, it was a statement, a testament to his expansive vision and unyielding ambition. Rajendra Chola was a ruler who understood that to control the seas was to control commerce, culture, and the very lifeblood of an empire. His reign marked the zenith of Chola naval power, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of maritime history. But as they say, the higher you rise. Over time, internal rivalries, weakened leadership, and external invasions chipped away at the Chola Empire. By the 13th century, the once glorious empire had faded into history, but the legacy still strong. In Sri Lanka, in Southeast Asia, in the Maldives, the impact of the Cholas is still visible, in temples, in language, in architecture, in shared cultural memory. They made Tamil a maritime language. They influenced art and administration across borders, and they proved centuries before the age of European empires that India could command the seas. The Cholas weren't just kings, they were empire builders, innovators, strategists, and above all, they were sailors with vision. Rajaraja and Rajendra turned southern India into a launchpad for one of history's boldest maritime experiments. Their ships didn't just carry soldiers, they carried ambition, culture, and power. The tides eventually turned, but for nearly 2 centuries the seas belonged to the Cholas. And that's a story worth remembering.